should mess with the lighting. See, this is why we close this. Woo, that's a little too dark. Can you turn that on? Get the light. There we go. There's the warmth that we need. Hey, y'all. What is up? It's good to see you. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy New Year, if you're still thinking about it that way. Who is all with us? Of course, Brownfinger is here. What's up, Brown? Charles and Graham and Lisa and Mr. Relative Time Works. Good day. And Kaj and Matt and Jim and Richard and Tom. What's up, Tom? And there's Michael and there's Steven. And Janine is around, and Bill is around. What's up, friends? It's good to see all of y'all here. Megan is here. Actually, there's Megan's hand. She is, well, she can speak for herself, but she's feeling a little tired today. And just...
Y'all, I'm exhausted.
So not camera ready, but
not feeling well.
But she's keeping a look on the chat, and she's keeping us, keeping me on task.
I'm here with you.
And we're going to do it. So,
hi, everybody.
Let's see. Sam is here, and Theonly is here, and Arrow. All right. So,
Hi,
yeah.
Megan's hand.
Thank you. Yeah, Megan's hand is here. Thanks for joining in. I mean, football fans, America football fans, it's getting into crunch time, so I appreciate you tuning in here. We can go watch the game afterwards. Actually, my team played yesterday, so doing all right. We have had quite a first week here on the channel, and we're off and rolling, and I'm ready to go. Last week we started we started off with a bang with the very first episode of the year getting blocked, but got it unblocked and we're off and running. That was Wasted Years from Iron Maiden. I was thinking we got to do some Iron Maiden to start the year off. I mean, come on. And I loved Wasted Years. That was one of my favorite songs from them that I've heard in a while. On Tuesday of this past week, Haken fans, we did Affinity, the entire album, on our Patreon for an extended play lounge listen, and I really liked it. So that's available exclusively for now on our Patreon at the $5 level and up. You can take a look at that and everything else that's on the Patreon. Let's see, on Wednesday, I'm still grooving from Frankenstein, y'all. We did the Edgar Winter group, Frankenstein. I played along a little bit at the keyboard.
That was awesome. And
we had a good old time. Koch is here, and Peter is here. Leffe, it's good to see you. And Bill is reminding us that it's only getting into crunch time if your team has played well enough to still be in crunch time. Yeah.
Erez is asking for more Maiden. I'm sure that will
more
be
Maiden.
Accommodated soon.
Probably not this month, but we'll get more Maiden. We'll keep coming back to them, I'm sure.
We'll look towards February or March.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Michael is here, and DP03. So, and Jake is here, and John. All right. So, we got it going. Wow. So DP is asking for Altesia or Dream Theater. Our planning for this month is looking pretty full, and I don't have Dream Theater on this month or Altesia, but I want to get back to both of those as well. It's weird, you know, whenever I select something, not only am I specifically selecting, you know, those 3 or 4 or 5 for the you know, for that particular week, I'm actively not selecting all the others. So I hope that I can get to as many things that y'all are interested in as I can. What else did we do last week? This is fun. So, new for 2023. This is something new that we're doing. I have, for the last 3 or 4 months, we've only been doing 3 videos a week. Right? Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And that allows me a little bit of time, y'all. Doing 5 YouTube videos a week plus all of the Patreon content is a little bit much. So we've been doing 3, and that's been working well for us. Well, here's what we're going to be doing. On Thursdays, each week, we're going to be releasing a reaction from 2022 that has previously been unreleased. And most of these are going to come from our fan favorites series over on the Patreon. On the Patreon, this mechanism, this series, the fan favorite series, is my mechanism to really dial into all of the songs that are just not quite getting into the YouTube channel and still keeping up and doing those. And we did almost 100 titles throughout 2022 that have never been released to YouTube. So we're going to be releasing one of those a week throughout the year, and it's going to be great.
I'm excited about
Will
that.
come is saying, yes, please release Hake in the Mountain. I've released a few extended play lounge episodes in their entirety. The Chris Squire Fish Out of Water is one of those. The Ziggy Stardust album is one of those.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm going to release an entire Haken album, but we shall see. We shall see. James says we need more prog in the fan favorites, please. All right, we can do that. We can keep some prog in there. We finished up the week, friends, with "Do You Feel Like We Do" from Peter Frampton, and his.
So much fun.
I mean, amazingly. I don't think I'd ever heard that, not all the way through. I remember the talkbox stuff, but all of the solo stuff, the main riff, was new to me. I enjoyed riffing with it on the keyboard, and that was fun. That was fun. So,
Yeah.
quite the carpool last week, and I think we've got quite the carpool of musicians this week coming up, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Throwback Thursday we did this past week was Cinema Show from Genesis, and
Oh,
it was
so
great.
good.
So, what do we have? What do we have this week?
What do we have?
For Metal Monday, for tomorrow, we're going to Korn. Now, as a kid from Nebraska, what are you laughing about?
I know where you're going with this.
I love Korn. But I've never heard of Korn with a K. And
You've heard of
I've
Korn,
heard of
sure.
them. I've heard of them, but I don't know their music. And there's been some folks requesting that. So we're going to go to a song of theirs called "Freak on a Leash."
Yes.
And I'm going to see if they're talking about me or not. And so that's coming up tomorrow. On Tuesday for our Behind the Score series over on Patreon, I'm going to go back to Gentle Giant, and I'm doing a piece of theirs called "The House, the Street, the Room," and I believe it's from their second album. And so I'm going to be taking a look at the notation for that, and we're going to be picking that piece apart a little bit. So that'll be released to our Patreon community this week. I think I'm going to record that one on Tuesday. That's going to be fun. For our I Suck at Guitar loves Korn. All right.
Nice.
And Tom says nice Gentle Giant. All right. We got you.
Excellent.
We got you. By the way, Katya's in the chat. Hi, Katya. Katya was one of our trivia winners
Yes.
from last week.
Yeah.
And as I recall, Katya, you had asked us to, instead of sending you your winnings, to donate to a local shelter. If that's still what you would like us to do, we're going to be following through on that, I think this week.
We just want to confirm that with you.
Just
but-
want to, yeah.
But we would still, if you would like it, we would still love to send you a piece of merch of your
For sure.
choice. So just send, if you would like that, send us an email at itsthedailydoug@gmail.com. And
Rock and roll.
We'll get you set up.
Okay, just let us know,
Yeah.
okay? And let's see. Okay, Wednesday this week. It's not really a World Wednesday, but we're going to kind of walk the line a little bit. We're going to go to Peter Gabriel and In Your Eyes. Now, this is a song that I have heard because I love the movie, right? Say Anything. and the boombox and all that stuff. So I know this song. I've heard it several times, but I don't think I've ever seen this particular performance of. This is going to be a live performance from I think the late '80s, and it's got, I think it incorporates some African rhythms and sounds and percussion and all of that. So In Your Eyes, a classic tune. We're going to get that one on the channel on Wednesday. Our Throwback Thursday this week is Jefferson Airplane and White Rabbit. And I took a look at that on our fan favorite series relatively late in the year. In 2022, and it's a relatively short song, but Grace's vocals on that are so perfect. Her intonation is so excellent. It's just great to listen to. So we're going to release that one on Thursday. So check that one out. And Friday, okay.
And one pill makes you small, Tom.
For sure, for sure. I think I took the blue pill. I don't know.
Wait, which one was the one that you
the one that makes
wanted to go into the Matrix?
the one that
Or
liberates me from
not
the
go into
Matrix.
it. You took the one
Right.
that liberated you from it?
I'd like to be a real boy, please.
Excellent.
All right. Okay, whichever one that is, Matrix fans. Let's see. Yeah, Matt is saying, talking about African rhythms, Omadon by Mike Oldfield. I've only done Tubular Bells. In fact, I think the album is still behind me. There it is, Tubular Bells, right? I've only done that from Mike Oldfield, so I could get to some more Mike as well. So for Friday, y'all, we're gonna do Bad Company by Bad Company. Have we ever? Is that it's actually it's a song, and the band have the same name, right?
Correct.
Bad Company by Bad Company.
Correct.
I've heard of albums named after bands, but songs named after bands. That's something new. I
It's
think
the red pill that removes you from the
whichever
Matrix.
one, y'all know,
Yeah.
y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, you know, whatever. So yeah, Bad Company by Bad Company, and we're also going to include there's a cover by a band called Five Finger Death Punch, whom I have never heard of, but it comes highly recommended.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a look at Bad Company two ways on Friday. So, well, yeah, Jeff is right. I think, yeah, Iron Maiden has a song called Iron Maiden. I don't think that I've ever heard that.
I
Have I?
have not either. I have not either.
I knew that their initial album was called that. Awesome. Bye, Janine.
We'll see you, Janine.
Cheer on your team, okay?
We're cheering them on too.
All right. Thank you, Katya. I appreciate you. We'll send us an email.
Awesome.
So yeah, and then I have to tell y'all this. I am appearing on a live internet show on Saturday. So on Saturday at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be appearing with Tony Romero on DJ Tony Live, and you can find that at houseofprague.com. houseofprague.com. It will start at 1:00 on the East Coast.
It's a fun show.
It's
Fun
going to
show
be
to
great.
listen to.
This will be my third time on with Tony, and he's actually appeared on my channel before
Tony's
as
such a
well,
great
talking
guy.
about some Yes.
Yeah.
And I think specifically we're going to be talking about some of my favorite reactions to prog music. I don't know if I can put a link in the chat, Erez, but it's houseofprague.com, and maybe I can put that in the description box once we're done. All right.
It's
Hi, Pete.
houseofprog.com.
Yep. Hi, Pete. Good to see you. Jeffrey is asking, when are we going to finish Uma Guma and Piper from the Gates of Dawn from Pink Floyd? It won't be too long. I don't think. It won't be too long. I don't think this month, but it won't be too long. I am currently, I will say this as far as Pink Floyd, recently in November, we did The Wall on Patreon. We did, for an extended play lounge episode, I did the entire 4 sides of The Wall and really enjoyed it. I'm trying to get that ready to release onto YouTube in a couple of chunks, right? Sides 1 and 2, sides 3 and 4. I'm currently fighting with the YouTube copyright police on that. So if those ever get unblocked and available for us to release, we'll release those on YouTube. But for now, the entire thing is available on the Patreon. So we're working on that. What do you got, Meg?
First of all, that's exciting, and I'm looking forward to hoping we can overcome that block situation.
Okay.
But I wanted to point out what Brett Nips said here. Hi, Doug. Love your stuff. Just finished making biscuits and gravy for the wife. What a good husband you are. That's wonderful.
All-star. Grade A for the day. I don't care. I don't care what anybody else says. You're doing it right. You're doing it right. Mike is asking a very important question. He says, how on earth were you able to avoid Yes until recently? Seems almost impossible. I knew, I'd heard of the band. I know some of the names of the musicians. I'd heard some of like the more popular like 80s songs, like Owner of a Lonely Heart I had heard and stuff like that. But the thing is, y'all, when you're I was talking a little bit about this recently, but when you're a musician and you spend your whole day like at the university and you're teaching classes and you're listening to repertoire or you're writing and your brain's just into music all day long, when you get home, your brain's tired, and it's not like you get home and think, oh, I'm just going to relax by putting an LP on. Like, that's still more listening. Right? So it's almost like recreating where you work. And so occasionally you get home and I don't want to listen to music when I get home because I've been doing it all day and I need a little bit of a break. Right? So I would know about these bands, I would read about them, I would even hear maybe snippets on the radio or here and there, but I'd never really sit down with a recording and focus on it and paying attention to it. And for decades, a lot of this music just kind of slipped right by me. I would observe the titles and the metadata, but I don't know the repertoire. And so this last couple of years, this dedicated time where I'm intentionally listening to all this stuff with the same sort of intense brain paying attention time. I don't know what the hell you call it. Intensity, right? That I would do as I'm trying to learn other repertoire. That's been a real great journey for me. And so, yeah, that's how a lot of this stuff has gotten by me for all these years. And it's been just wonderful to spend time getting into it because, you know, quite frankly, classical music past 1970, like the 70s and 80s for classical music, in my personal opinion, is kind of a desert, right? There's not a lot of great stuff that was written during that time period. I think the classical writers were trying to figure out where they wanted to go and what sort of sounds they wanted to peruse. The romantics, the tunesmiths, I think got into movie scores and movie music and prog and rock and roll. And that's where a lot of these great sounds come from. Take Tales from Topographic Oceans, right? I recently finished listening to that. That's a 4-movement vocal symphony, as far as I'm concerned. It's just done by a rock band in 1973, right? We're coming up on 50 years. It's awesome. Yeah, and Tom is saying if I knew all of that music, my reactions wouldn't be as much fun. It's hard to react to something for the first time if you've already heard it.
Sure.
Right? So it's real what I'm doing here, y'all. Chuck is asking Mind Drive by Yes. I know that is on my my list. And I know that I'll get to that. And he's also asking for Elephant Talk from King Crimson. We did Elephant Talk as part of Discipline. I think I've got I don't know if you can see it down there, the red thing down there. That's a book of scores from King Crimson, and I love that book. And so we did Discipline, the entire album, and Elephant Talk was on that. Unbelievable album. Wow. All right, and then Matt is talking about Yngwie. Yeah, it's been a long time since we did some Yngwie too. We'll have to get back to some more Yngwie Jeff, I've got Alter Bridge scheduled. I think later in the month, maybe the end of the month, maybe in February. I've got some more Alter Bridge coming up. What do you got?
Just someone was asking about
Hi, Whiz Kid.
John Adams.
Thank you.
I think in regards to when you were talking about time period of like 70s and 80s and stuff.
Sure.
I don't think Doug's saying that there wasn't anything that was good that came out of it. It's just that it wasn't a prolific
Yeah. You know, like
period in ways that we'd seen prior to
for example,
that time period.
For example, Megan and I, until just very recently, we were on the board of a community orchestra here in New Jersey. And a couple years ago, actually, I think it was 21.
Oh, WizKid, thank you.
Thanks, WizKid. I'll come back to their thought there in a second.
I'll hold it here too.
What was I saying? Yeah, we were on the board of a community orchestra who was celebrating its 50th anniversary in 2021. And so one of our thoughts were, hey, let's go back to a piece that was written 50 years ago when we got our start, and we'll include it in our repertoire this year. And we looked and looked and looked and looked, and by God, there was absolutely...
It's not that there's nothing, it's just that...
we wanted to play.
It's a community orchestra, too, so you
Yeah.
have to keep that in mind.
That time was a lot of experimental...
It's a lot of... there
extended
are a lot of,
techniques.
A lot of amazing musicians
Yeah.
in that, in the orchestra, but
Yeah.
but for that kind of concert, that
Sure.
kind of celebration...
Yeah. It would have been easier and more palatable maybe and better to do stuff like by the Moody Blues. I mean, come on. You got some great orchestral stuff from them, and it's similar time periods. It's just the way that the musical direction went is quite fascinating.
I actually love your appreciation of film scores because I think there's been a lot of innovation there.
Soundscapes and melodies. That's what we get. We get a lot of tunes and we get a lot of great sounds.
If you're into that, yeah. So,
what we got?
WizKid, thank you again so much
The Raven by
quote The Raven. You want to write it down?
Iluvite? I have no idea. I don't know how to pronounce that. A Celtic Nordic metal. Wow.
Yeah,
Hang
that's
on
cool.
now.
Okay.
A Celtic Nordic metal band.
Yeah, let's get that one written down.
All right.
If we can.
Some Celtic rock. I love. Actually, Meg and I, we've done. We've seen several like Irish Celtic bands or like rock bands over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Those reels become great riffs, right? Absolutely.
Paolo wants to know who your
Thank you,
favorite
Scarface.
classical composer
Say it again.
is. Who's your favorite classical composer? Paolo. is
Paolo.
asking.
Wow. My favorite classical composer. Like true throwback classical composer for me, most of the time I go to Mendelssohn. Mendelssohn for me is kind of a great amalgamation of the contrapuntal brilliance of Bach with the melodic brilliance of somebody like Mozart, with the romantic sensibility of somebody like Beethoven and his contemporaries. Felix Mendelssohn managed to put all that stuff together. I haven't heard a bad piece or a piece that I didn't like by Felix Mendelssohn. More recently, I mean, I don't think there's anybody better in the last 50 or 70 years than John Williams. I mean, come on. I love John Williams.
The fact that
He's got so much range and ability, and the way that he can expertly fill out a melody, and then the harmonic structure underneath it, and then the overall kind of mapping underneath that. The way that he is able to handle his textures is just top notch. Love it, love it, love it.
You know something, it actually makes a lot of sense, the composers who you have an affinity.
Kaj Mendelssohn didn't write a Sixth Symphony. I think you're thinking of either a different one. He did. I think he only had 5. Pretty sure.
Symphony Fantastique is really, really, really fun to
That's
play.
a heck of a piece.
I was going to say,
Hi, Alan. Greetings in Scotland.
what I was saying is that it's not surprising the composers who you particularly enjoy. Being a choral composer, you of course would, you tend to go for things that have a melody, a tune you can follow. I think that makes sense to me, I guess.
The another one of my favorites, Maurice Duruflé, the French composer.
Ooh, yeah.
Just sublime.
Yeah, incredible.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Let's see. Nick is asking for a breakdown. So here's what's up again, real quick. We're starting with corn. We got to get our vegetables, y'all. Corn Freak on a Leash is on Monday. I'm doing some Gentle Giant behind the score for our Patreon on Tuesday. We're doing In Your Eyes from Peter Gabriel, a live performance of that from back in the day on Wednesday. Our Throwback Thursday for this week is White Rabbit from Jefferson Airplane. And then on Friday, Bad Company. 2 different versions, by Bad Company and by Five Finger Death Punch. I think a cover of that song. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be appearing on houseofprague.com starting at 1 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast. And then later that day for our Council of Dougs, we have our first council meeting, our first hangout of the year. So, y'all, if you want to be in our top tier of patrons, it's only $8 a month. It gets you access to all of our library and all of our materials, and you also get access to our twice monthly hangout that we do with our friends. We do that via Zoom conference. We typically we're on for 2 hours. We listen to 4 or 5 songs. We talk about what has been going on the channel. We talk about what's coming up. We help plan and prioritize what's been going on. And we discuss the music and we enjoy each other's company. So that's twice a month. And we would love to have you. Just pop on over to patreon.com/Doug Helvering, as you see it right there that Megan put in. Excellent. Yeah, the Fifth Symphony, Kaj, the one with the Mighty Fortress in it, the Reformation Symphony. That's it. It's not my favorite of his. I think my favorite is his third.
I really do love the Fifth Symphony, though.
But it's underappreciated, for sure.
It's fun to play, and the Third Symphony is particularly special.
Yeah, he's got some great cantatas, and his oratorios are top notch. They're fun to play, and
I love playing Mendelssohn.
Yeah. Well, Sid is saying that sure there is a Council of Dougs, but we know who really counsels Doug. This person over here. Yeah, but the council has pretty decent sway, for sure. Peter, the fourth is great.
The fourth is a blast to play.
Always great stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Mendelssohn was a string player, so he writes very well for that.
Oh yeah, beautifully.
I might put some Mendelssohn on later this afternoon.
That sounds very nice.
We tend to kind of take
you can do that while I'm taking a nap.
Yeah, our son right after these live streams on Sunday is typically
She's the boss.
when Meg takes a nap and when I put on some classical music and just kind of breathe and relax, right? So that's like my window, for there. It used to be watching football, and now I think I need the breather, and so I might put some Mendelssohn on this afternoon. Fun.
Robert Pugh, that is kind of, there's a lot of truth to that.
What are they saying?
Every composer's fifth seems to be about their best work for some reason, or it becomes like famous one, and I know Beethoven's fifth is quite famous.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite though.
No, what's your favorite Beethoven symphony? I'll tell you mine if you tell you yours. Y'all would think that the ninth is my favorite. It is not.
As a horn player, I love Beethoven's Third Symphony, even though the one movement is terrifying.
Peter, I'm with you. Beethoven
Right.
7 is my favorite.
I have, yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
and actually, well, there's the one part in that that's terrifying as a horn player to play, but it's so much. Oh God, Beethoven is fun to play. Although
Yeah.
I've played the Ninth Symphony once.
3 times. No, sorry.
Anyway, that was terrifying from start
Yeah.
to finish.
Pulsar
So-
Lights. Beethoven's Ninth was in a lot of movies. In fact, recently, you know where I'm going, don't you? I was this past month, December. It was like a month ago, like right now. I got to watch Die Hard, the original Die Hard, for guess what? The first time. And Megan was there, and our friend John Franek was there, and it's one of John's favorite movies. And
Yeah, he watches it every year at Christmas.
and he was trying to convince me that it was a Christmas movie, and I said, as soon as Beethoven's Ninth Symphony starts playing, I'm like, there is no way that Michael Kamen, who did the music for Die Hard, who did the score,
He did not necessarily choose that. That could have
he
been
should have
someone-
walked off the job. If they were calling that a Christmas movie, he's like, no, we're not doing Ode to Joy as a Christmas carol.
Did they call it a Christmas movie when it came out?
Well, that's my thing.
Like, did it come out at Christmas time?
That if Ode to
don't
Joy
actually remember.
is a recurring theme, how can it possibly be a Christmas movie? That's what that's anyway. So that's
so
that's funny. Yeah, Beethoven 7 is my
you've
favorite.
come around though to
It takes place at Christmas time. If y'all want it to be a Christmas movie, it's a Christmas.
There's Christmas music in it. It takes place at Christmas.
Of
He's
course.
going home to be with his family for Christmas. So come on.
It takes place at Christmas in America. Of course, we hear Christmas music.
Is Home Alone a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Well, then Die Hard is too.
Did they put Beethoven 9 in Home Alone?
No. Doug.
Somewhere in my Freude.
Because the argument could be made that it's not about Christmas. It's about a kid getting left at home on Christmas. I mean,
Kevin.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but Robert's like, but isn't Christmas joyful?
You know what? Yes.
Touche. We're just having fun.
There
We're
you
just
go.
having fun.
We are just having fun. This is not a serious
Oh,
argument.
man. What's up,
This is
Seth?
not a serious argument.
Christmas in Hollis. I remember that song. That's all I remember. From Run DMC, Christmas song. Yeah, there you go. That wasn't in Die Hard. Maybe it was. I don't know. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Doug has done Careful with That Axe, Eugene over on our Patreon. That was in
That was in a
somewhat recent.
That wasn't a fan favorite. That was,
was
in things.
October.
That was in things that go bump in the night.
That was October's.
Careful
fan
with that
favorites.
axe, Eugene. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that
did
was
that
October's fan favorites episode. You can find that over on
Yep.
patreon.com/Doug Helvering.
It's going to be a fun week, though, y'all. So we've got Korn, Freak on a Leash. We've got Gentle Giant, The House, The Street, The Room, In Your Eyes, a live version by Peter Gabriel. On
Lethal Weapon also. I'm sorry, keep going.
On Thursday, Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit that we're doing a throwback to. And then on Friday, Bad Company. From Bad Company and from Five Finger Death Punch. I've got a council hangout on Saturday, and then I'm on DJ Tony Live on houseofprog.com at 1 o'clock on Saturday. So, big week, and it's time to get to work, y'all. So, go watch your football, go do your stuff, your Sunday stuff. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with us over here, and we'll see you along the way. All right?
Thanks, everybody.
See you soon.